All right, we are live. I'm in a different location than usual, and I'll probably keep this pretty short. Actually, I wonder if I can tweet while still doing this. I wonder if I can tweet this directly from this. I don't know. We're here to chat about tonight's episode of Arrow, which was entitled Level 2. And my hair looks terrible. Hi, Stormy. I see Stormy's in the chat. Let me see if I can keep this going while tweeting about it. And oh, it's reconnecting. Rengoku says hello. Okay, I'm assuming you guys can still. I'm hoping you guys can still see me. I can see your chat. So this is a little bit different. As we talked about 2 weeks ago, every other week I like to do one where you guys are the guests. So you guys are the guests this week, but I'm also a guest at a hotel because I'm traveling. So everything's a little different. Lighting's kind of weird. I don't have Arrow stuff in the background behind me. You guys said yes, you can see me. Fantastic. So I just really want to hear your guys' thoughts on tonight's episode. We'll keep it really chill. Oh, I see Amanda's here. Stormy's already giving it a rating of a 3.5. That's right around where I was thinking too. I want to hear your ratings and I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your pros and cons. Talk about just whatever you're kind of attaching to right after the episode. I I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it out of 5. 1 being like terrible, I hated everything, and 5 being fantastic. I think a 3.3, 3.5 right in there is right. I'd give it a solid 3.5 as well. I'll take that one. You guys let me know what you think on that. I thought tonight's episode was interesting in that the villains kind of took a back seat and we really got to see more about the heroes, and normally I love that. Um, Amanda says I like this episode, digging the flash forward. Stormy says Dinah was annoying. Yeah, that was the thing. So it was a villain light episode and a hero heavy episode, which normally I love. But I would say that the heroes that they were really highlighting weren't necessarily the ones I like attached to or love. Um, 3.9, I think Carrie says. Stormy says, I loved everything. Felicity, Smoke. All the Oliver scenes were heartbreaking. The Oliver scenes, let's talk about that psych evaluation. I love that trope. I love a good psych evaluation for internal exposition type of trope where it's like they're torturing somebody or whatever, but it's so that we can get this additional exposition type of information. I just think that I know that's so overdone to the point where it's being overdone on Arrow, because didn't Prometheus do that exact thing almost? But I thought it was really cool. Carrie gives it 3.9 Bebos out of 5. Bebo, yeah, what did you guys think about Bebo? Do you guys watch Legends? Did you know who that Bebo thing was? Or was that just like a funny, like, Curtis brought a blue teddy bear to Zoe? Amanda says Felicity from Earth 2 has an evil empire. Loved it. Want to see it. I would love to see Felicity with an evil empire. I would love to join Felicity's evil empire. That sounds fantastic. Stormy says the Doctor is scarier to her than Diaz. Yeah, the Doctor was really interesting. I think I had kind of seen everything with the prison as being like everybody in it is corrupt, but could I differentiate between that kind of corruption and like the corrupt prison guards on Riverdale? No, but now I feel like there's actually a point to the corruption. Like there's a plot line developing beyond just this like Fight Club thing, right? Which I think is fun and interesting, and it gives me something to theorize about other than just when's Oliver gonna get out of prison. It's like he's gonna do something in there, which is really cool. Um, yeah, I liked the Felicity stuff, but they're really hammering home this idea of her having to become okay with killing. And I guess I just don't see that as new for Felicity. She's been okay under certain circumstances with killing. Rengoku gives it a 3.5 as well, with talking about the emotional weight. Every time somebody types something in the chat, all the chat appears and then it goes away before I can actually. He says, I'd rather learn all that from the present storyline talking about the flash forwards. That's a really good point. Every time somebody types something in the chat appears, but then it'll disappear really fast. So if I don't read it fast enough, or if I read a comment and then like start talking about it, and then somebody like I'll like miss bits and pieces. So if I'm not reading your comment, that's why. But I'll get to it as soon as somebody else comments, so it pops back up again. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, the emotional weight of this episode could have been heavier, and I know that they're probably saving some of their like top things for like later in the season, like something big for Diggle or something big for Felicity, but I'm kind of like ready to see more of that. So, what did you think of Felicity and Siren teaming up? I'm curious. Felicity from Earth 2 sounds like Moira from Earth 1. Biba from Legends, amazing character. Felicity giving snarking truths to Siren was awesome. Finally enjoyed scenes with Siren in them. It's a miracle. Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was kind of fun, her and Siren teaming up. With that said, okay, you guys tell me if I'm crazy. I know that Siren is older than Felicity, but she was very patronizing throughout this. And I don't know that she's supposed to be that much older than her. Like, Felicity wanted Dark and Chase dead, Stormy says, so she's okay with killing in certain instances. Raquel says yes, she's okay with killing. Yeah, it's not just me. Like, Felicity's been okay with killing before, right? So I feel like there was like this patronizing thing where Siren was like, are you sure you're okay with killing? Are you sure you're okay with this like heavy adult stuff or whatever? And I know that was resolved towards the end where like Felicity actually proved herself, and she proved that like she knows how to use her brain even in situations where she's also willing to use violence. I just didn't think of that as something that she needed to prove, because I felt like she's shown that before. I'm happy to see it again. I was just kind of, yeah, Raquel agrees it was interesting. Amanda says flash forwards make me think it's useless to show the Dinah investigations. Yeah, what did you think of the flash forwards? Let's talk about that too. So we saw Dinah aged up, which is exactly the same as current day Dinah, but with white hair. That's fine. We saw Smoke Tech. I thought that was really exciting. I've been wanting that for Felicity for a while. Oh, there's filters you can use when live. Put a filter on me. Sure, let's do it. Yeah, Raquel agrees it's could be patronizing. Oh, if I click on this, do I see the comments? Oh, I do. Rengoku says, I like them as Captain Cold and Heatwave. If you watch Flash or Legends, really reminded me of them. Yeah. I think Siren should be at least 5 years older than Felicity. Oh, I finally figured out how to scroll through the comments. Y'all, I've got this. I've got it made now. Rengoku says Bibo is from Legends. Amazing character. The Doctor was epic. That investigation, or not investigation, interrogation, I thought was just so well done and really interesting. I'm not saying that it's like better than Prometheus. I'm just saying it's interesting. The Doctor is not a villain the way Prometheus was a villain. Well, like he is, but it's not like he's not like a big bad the way Prometheus was a big bad. So there's some difference there, I guess, in like what he's supposed to represent. But I thought it was just very similar to the mental interrogation thing that Prometheus did. Did you? Yeah, Raquel says it was a different feel from Prometheus for sure. It was less physical. It was very mental, and by the end of it, we can see that what he's trying to do is erase Oliver from his own, like, memory of who he is. Like, he's trying to convince Oliver that he's somebody he's not, or make him forget even who he is, which, I don't know, is an interesting approach following a season where, like, the theme was legacy, right? Comments. Amanda said, Sarah should have been the only canary ever. Yeah. I don't know what to think about this whole, like, canary legacy thing anymore, because, like, I feel like there's been so many, it's almost like there's nothing to preserve anymore. It's just a concept. But in terms of having multiples of something and preserving the integrity of it, what did you guys think of having multiple hoods and seeing our Team Arrow people interact with the hood tonight? I thought that was interesting. It's a girl. Like, we know it's a girl. Like, I hope that's not a surprise to anyone. If it is, pretend I'm just guessing, I guess. But it's interesting the steps they take to kind of try to cover it up and keep that still ambiguous. Who says, I'm big men now that we know that someone will take over the Glades and we know the fates of certain characters. Flash forwards would be better after Arrow basically ends, like an epilogue arc. Raquel says it felt draining emotionally for viewers of the show, unwrapping Oliver's mental state, referring to the interrogation. Stormy agrees New Arrow's female, body type was more feminine, plus they went out of their way to make the voice so much deeper than even Oliver's. Yeah, so let's unpack some of that. With the flash forwards, there's certain things that are revealed. We don't necessarily know them to be true. Like, for example, they say that Felicity Smoke, or Dinah says Felicity Smoke is dead. Is that true? Did Felicity fake her own death? Is Felicity in hiding? It seems like Felicity's it seems like she's still interacting in some way through like signs and symbols and stuff with William. So is this going to turn into a thing where William's like, I know Felicity's alive. Like, I believe that she's alive. She's still, like, I feel like I would know it if she was, whatever, right? And he still continues to search for her even though Dinah says she's dead? Probably. So it's just, I don't know. The flash forwards can give away a lot, but it depends on how literally you take what they say is going to happen and how much you trust that you're getting the correct account from whatever character is speaking. Stormy says, I don't believe for a second Felicity is dead. I could see her and Oliver being in hiding for some reason. I agree. Rengoku says, I don't like the new Green Arrow voice. Kind of hard to understand, in my opinion. Not really appealing compared to Stephen Amell's. I think it's because she has her voice so, like, covered up. Whereas with Stephen Amell's, it's just like a slight cover up. And I think the reason they have it so covered up is because they're trying to hide the fact that it's a girl. Carrie says, if you were Renee, would you have looked under the hood to reveal the new GA ID? Absolutely would. Probably they're going to make Renee and the girl under the hood ship, by the way. That's my prediction. And I tend to be good at these predictions. I'm kidding. I've been like 0 for none on predicting ships on Arrow, except for Oliver and Felicity. Would you have looked under the hood? What would you guys have done? Yes? No? Amanda says, I think the flash forwards give a lot away, but they try to mislead us to reveal big surprises over time. That's it exactly. She nailed it. That's how I feel as well. Raquel says, I think it'd be cool if they drag out the Felicity reveal to the end and then wrap up the flash forward story in season 8. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing everybody wants to, like, know and theorize about, right? Is, like, essentially, it's the new Queen family question. Is like, where is the Queen family? How is the Queen family? How are they doing? And that is what Oliver, Felicity, and William sort of bring to the table. It's the future of the Queen family, and that becomes critical to the show. It becomes critical to your investment, I suppose, in Oliver's hero journey. And I get why they're, like, saving that and why they should in the flash forward, sort of make you have to, like, wonder and root for it and root for them to be alive. But also I want to see them in flash forwards before season 8. But I know you're right. Stormy says, new Green Arrow face is far more covered up than Oliver's. Another reason I think it's female. Yeah, for sure. Rengoku says, I like that Renee, even as the wild dog of the team, wouldn't resort to torture because he's done it before in the Navy, learned from his mistake. I fully forgot Renee was ever even in the Navy, and then I heard him talking about that, and, like, he was, like, dishonorably discharged or whatever from it. I was like, when was that brought up? And I guess it was only brought up, like, the second episode he ever existed, at which point I was trying to ignore him at all costs anyways. And, yeah, it'd been mentioned before, but I had completely forgotten, and I was like, oh, word, okay. Ringo, or, Wild Dog was in the military. Who knew? But now that I say that, I do remember them talk like that was supposed to be like the connection he had with Diggle because they were both in the military. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Green Arrow has a face mask as well, like League of Assassins, Oliver Al Sahim. Yeah, her like hood face mask is kind of similar to the Al Sahim one a little bit. In the chat, I didn't like Dig being more supportive of Dinah than he has been of Felicity this season. I agree, but that's also not new this season. We had him and Dinah being like besties or whatever last season as well, more than we got scenes of him and Felicity. So like it's true, but it's like an ongoing complaint. Like I just want more of Diggle and Felicity working together. I'm not like listen. I'm not opposed to Diggle and Dinah being like friends and having seen like all of that. I was thinking that they were going to be a ship anyway, so like I'm fine, prove me right. But there's only it's nothing against either character, but there's only so much interest you can get out of two characters talking to each other who are like supposed to be so similar. Like they are written to be similar. It's not that I think that they're similar. They are written to be similar. They're written to have similar backgrounds. They're written to sometimes have similar approaches. They're just at different parts in their journey. So there's only so much interest you can get from that. Whereas Felicity and Diggle are dynamically different characters, so their like relationship can be really interesting in a way that very similar characters are not always interesting to me. Rengoku says he talked about in the past with the Navy, with Diggle, and 504, and he got tortured with Quentin at some point. Yeah, maybe it's just that I've been ignoring Wild Dog. He's not terrible this season. That's as close as I'll get to a compliment. Rengoku says, I think him and Dinah are more similar, like twins, and Felicity's like a younger sister to him that he wants to protect. Amanda says, Dinah was so annoying. I like Black Siren better. That's just so grr. Yeah, those are strong words. I find it interesting, not necessarily surprising, but interesting that like it's either one or the other. Like either people like when you have multiple canaries, which I know one of you, I think it was Amanda, mentioned earlier in the chat that there should only be one canary and it should have been Sarah. When you have multiple canaries, and I know like one of them Siren, one of them's canary, whatever, right? They're all canaries. When you have multiple canaries, people are only liking one and not the other, which me kind of too. Like I feel like, you know, and it varies on any given week, but I'm not usually like, ooh, I'm so interested in Dinah and Siren. It's sort of like one of them's, I guess, kind of alright, right? So I don't know, I feel that this isn't like a pitting women against each other type of thing though. Like I'm all for there being multiple female heroes. I just feel like multiple canaries kind of gets a little old. Like it's a like one trick pony, but two of them. Rengoku says, I recently watched the season 6 finale, and the last thing Quentin tells Renee is, if I die, don't call me Haas at my funeral. And Renee hasn't said Haas once this season. Well, I guess something good came out of Quentin's death then, huh? The Haas thing got old, but in general, beyond just the Haas thing getting old, Renee calling people nicknames that they didn't want to be called got old. Because it wasn't like cute or funny, it was just like, this guy's annoying. TV Movie Spark says, I don't think Felicity's dead. I don't think Felicity's dead either. I joke about Felicity being immortal, and I just want to say, I recognize that, like, the fictional character of Felicity is not immortal, but I'm also saying, like, literally, unless Emily chooses to leave the show will have Felicity on there forever. So, like, she's not gonna die unless Emily wants to leave the show, in which case, like, that's, like, you know, people have their lives and careers and what, you know, like, that's fine. But I think we're just supposed to be, like, shocked, and then William will, like, go on some emotional journey to find his parents who are actually alive, but they're in hiding to protect him, and it's gonna be something like that. It'll be fantastic. Love it already. Storm says, the only canary I've ever really been here for was Sarah. The others aren't that engaging for me. Yeah. Siren, I'm not gonna say like a soft spot, but I have like a high tolerance spot, in that I have a high tolerance for like female villains. Like you can have literally like a inconsistent, terribly written female villain with like bad writing who can't act or whatever, and I'll still be like, but she's kind of hot. That like I tend to like female villains, so like I have a high tolerance for that. The character, like on the flip side though, the character of Laurel Lance I think was like so badly executed in so many ways for so many reasons that it's like I'm not really finding too many, like there every time there was like an ounce of potential to get rid of it. So Stormy says Felicity isn't interchangeable. Oh, she's referencing, okay, if she's really dead, go get Felicity from Earth X or the Doom World Felicity from Legends. I'm here for all of the Felicities. I get what Stormy's saying about Felicity not being interchangeable, but we could also have multiple Felicities, and then our Felicity could also still be alive because, of course, she is. I did like the concept of Earth 2 Felicity having an empire, evil or otherwise. I thought that was fun. Oh, we are a little bit over time. Tell me what you guys want to see in the next coming episodes. What are you excited to see? What's your, like, I can't wait for this storyline to happen, or I'm looking forward to this. I kind of want to see Oliver in level 2, like out of sight in level 2. Like, show me this more intense level. What is it that you got? I'm excited to see Felicity going after Dragon and like being bloodthirsty. It's just once again I don't see, like, I'm excited for it, but that's not new. Like, she stabbed Slade. She told Oliver to kill Ra's al Ghul. Like, she's been pro killing villains this whole time. She's never been like a Barry Allen style pacifist of like, let's let Nazis go because I don't want to get, like, she's just not that person. But I'm excited to see like a more cutthroat version of her, I guess. I've just always kind of seen her already as cutthroat. Carrie says, I've been in and out of the chat while watching Legends. Does anyone think Renee looked under the Arrow's hood? I I think I would, so I can't imagine Renee wouldn't. And then he's going to keep her secret because he thinks she's hot. That's the CW answer, and also probably true. Rangoku says, I actually really like Dune's World Felicity. Dark hair, tech base, and good fighter. Yeah, I like Dune's World Felicity as well. I like most every version of Felicity that I've seen. Raquel says, I'm looking forward to the next flash forward breadcrumb. I feel that. Me too. Excited to see more on how Oliver's getting out. Loki starting to feel a little antsy present day with like a little more idea of what's coming. Stormy says, I'm ready to see more of Felicity fighting for Oliver. She gets to see him in prison next week. I'm excited for that too. Rangoku says, I want to see someone take down Dragon so he gets sent to Slabside where Oliver can end him. I was excited to see Dragon be shot because he's mortal and people don't shoot him, and that was such a frustration for me last season, so I'm happy to see that he's actually getting shot this season. Like, he's not special, he's not a meta, he's not bulletproof, he doesn't even have the presence of mind to wear a bulletproof vest most of the time. Like, anyways, thank you all for staying late and talking with me. Raquel says, the way you said that. Yeah, it's been a day. I didn't really filter much. And I know this is different. This is portrait style and it's like on YouTube Live, and I don't even know if this is going to get posted to my channel correctly afterwards, and there were like comments in front of my face and it took me like ages to figure out that I could just scroll through them like a normal person. So I appreciate your patience and your tolerance in watching this with me and sharing your thoughts with me, and it makes watching this episode so much fun. And I will see you same time. It's like same time, same place, but I'll be in a different place because I won't be traveling next week. So same time, same place next week. And I'll have a guest. And I'll have a normal camera and a decent mic. And yeah. Talk to you guys later. Oh, I now have to figure out how to like turn off a YouTube live stream, huh? I don't actually know. Stormy says, Diaz just needs to be cold and dead on a slab. I'm so done with this, dude. Yeah. Amanda says it's almost 1 a.m. here in Brazil. Ooh, a night owl. I love that. Rengoku says thanks. All right. Thank you. Bye, guys.